Hi guys, and welcome back to the No Gluten Zone. I normally create content for people with what I call food issues. That can be allergies, sensitivities, intolerances, or just autoimmune issues that affect your diet. We all sort of fall under this umbrella and share a lot of the same issues. And so I like to create content to help people in those situations. Today's content is very off topic, but I do get a lot of questions about curly hair, and I just wanted to make this video and share that I recently celebrated what I affectionately call my Curliversary, and it was my 5-year Curliversary. And what that means is it was 5 years ago on that day that I stopped straightening my hair. And so I just wanted to share in case this might inspire someone or help someone trying to embrace their natural hair. When I was a little girl, I had very long, fairly curly hair. It's never been super tight coils, but it was pretty curly and it was very long. And I didn't appreciate it, even though I got lots of compliments on it and lots of girls in school loved it and said they wanted hair like mine. But all I could see was everyone I knew had short hair, and especially in the summertime when it was hot. It was heavy and hot, and I didn't know how to put it in a bun. My mom didn't know that, so it was really hard. And I'm so old that when I was a kid, there was no air conditioning in school yet. I remember getting air conditioning in school. I remember getting air conditioning added to my house. So it was just different back then. You were expected to tolerate the heat, and with really long, thick, heavy hair, it was really hard. And so I think when I was about 8 years old, my mother gave in to my begging to cut my hair. I was out of school, it was summertime, and so she cut it. I don't know, it was probably from way down here to, I think it was just below my shoulders, and it was instantly kind of messy and ruined. And I will say she always dry brushed my hair, which is a big no-no for curly hair. And so she really didn't know what to do with it. It was really messy. And she called her hairdresser and said, "Can you help me out?" And so she said, "Yeah, bring her in." And so she gave me more of a page boy cut where it curled under. And she told me, the hairdresser told me, that some people are blessed with good hair and some people are not. And I was not. That I had just really messy hair and that I would have to blow dry it straight every day for the rest of my life. And so every morning when I was getting ready for school, I now had this burden of doing my hair, kind of misting it, and then, using a round brush and blow dryer, which I never did any of that before. It always just air dried. And so it was a hassle. I was kind of regretting, and I did keep trying to grow it back out, but somehow I had damaged it. Just never looked the same. It never looked good. And I kept repeatedly growing it out and then cutting it and growing it out and then cutting it. And when I was finally in my early 20s, I said, I'm growing my hair out. And I did. I had it super long. It was so long in my early 20s that I would put on my pants. And you put on a jacket and you have to pull your hair out. I would put on my pants and I had to pull my hair out. It was so long. I didn't really straighten it, but I just kind of left it, but I braided it a lot. I did a lot of buns. I learned how to put it in a bun in my early 20s finally. So I did a lot of that. And then in my late 20s, early 30s, I went a little shorter, and I started, when it's shorter, it just looked messier. And so then I went back to straightening it, and I was straightening it all the time until I got into it was in my late 40s, and I started having major hair loss. And I have a whole series on here about hair loss, and I couldn't straighten it anymore because it looks thinner when it's straight. The curliness adds a little fullness, and that's what made me stop straightening my hair. And I will say it is hard initially. And if I didn't feel like I had to stop straightening it, I probably would have given up and just gone back to straightening it because it was really hard. Probably the whole first year, I would say, or close to it, a good 10 months, 9-10 months at least. it didn't look good. It was pretty messy. It was pretty wild. I really didn't know what I was doing. I did get the book on the curly girl method and I started with that. I do think it's a really good starting point, and then you need to find what works for you and what doesn't and go from there. I'm not a hardcore, I'm pretty hardcore with not using silicones in my hair products, for the reasons that the curly girl method states, that silicones put a barrier on your hair and you can't get any moisture in. So until I wash out those silicones, my hair just gets drier and drier and drier, and no moisture I add to it will penetrate it. But I will say that I kept looking at pictures of other people's curly hair and I was like, that's so beautiful. That is so beautiful. Like, why does my hair not look beautiful? And at one point I was complaining about my hair and my husband asked me, you know, he says, your hair looks fine. Like, it looks okay. What is it you're wanting it to do? And I really thought hard and long about that. And I realized a lot of the pictures I was looking at were not my curl type. I'm like in the 2s, maybe a 3A if you look at those categories of curls. And I was looking at like 4s and 5s. My hair couldn't do that. That wasn't realistic for me. And so I really had to stop and think, what is it I was wanting from my hair to be satisfied and happy with how it looked curly? And I actually just stopped looking at pictures of other people's hair for the most part. I still look, but not looking like, oh, I wish my hair looked like that. I stopped all of that and I really let go of trying to control my hair, and I just let my hair do what it wanted to do. And just once I did that, once I stopped trying, because all the time straightening my hair, styling my hair, I was controlling my hair. That was basically all I knew. And so trying to see what it does on its own, I had to let go of all of that. And it was a process. It was not an easy process. But once I got there and I was able to do that, then I actually became really happy with my hair. And that I started getting compliments on my hair, and I still get compliments on my hair like almost every day. I don't think, like, honestly, I'm not like bragging. I'm not saying, oh, I have this amazing hair. It's just my hair. I will say I feel so comfortable in my own skin with my hair like this. It's really hard to explain. I know that sounds really weird. It sounds weird to me too, but it just is. Like, there's just something where I feel like genuinely myself and so comfortable with myself with my natural hair. And so I do really like it, mostly for that reason. I think it looks decent. I think it looks good, but I'm not like here bragging like, oh, I have this amazing hair. So things along the way was, you know, starting with the curly girl method. I do use clarifying shampoos that have sulfates in it. I do that. I know that's not curly girl method. I don't use silicones, which does go along with curly girl method. I'm trying to think what else I do or don't do. I can't remember now what all the rules are, but it's a good starting point to just break everything and kind of start there and see what works and what doesn't work for your hair. Letting go of controlling your hair and seeing what your hair wants to do. I highly recommend that. One thing that shocks me is that I never imagined this would happen. I now actually am cutting my own hair because I just cannot find a person who, it has always been hard, like my entire life, finding someone who can cut wavy hair, even when I'm straightening it, because when they just need to know how to cut it, because it's hard. Like, they end up just cutting and, oh, because they forget about like the shrinkage in the hair and the way it's gonna lay. And so I don't know. I'm not a person who cuts hair professionally, so I don't know, but I know it's challenging. So I used to always try to find a hairdresser that herself has curly or wavy hair. Sometimes that's hard to tell if they're straightening it, you know, or if they're curling it with curling irons or something, or curlers or something, or perming it. Some people do, even though they have wavy or curly hair. So sometimes it's hard to find that and be able to spot that. But if you can, that's really good. But I've just been through so many people. I even paid tons of money for curly cuts and all this stuff, and I wasn't happy with any of it. And I would have to come home, like the last one I got, I had to come home and fix a bunch of stuff, like cutting, fixing late. And I was like, I just spent all this money. Like, I shouldn't be having to do this. And to then just be unhappy with the cut. everyone I've asked that I know with long layered curly or wavy hair, I've asked them, who cuts your hair? They have all told me hands down, I cut it myself. And I always said like, oh gosh, I could never do that. And the last friend that I asked, I was like, her hair is looking amazing. I inspired her to stop straightening her hair, and it was looking really amazing. So I asked her, hey, who's cutting your hair? Like, I need a person. And she said, I went on YouTube and watched a ton of hair cutting videos, and I just do it myself because I was paying all the money and not happy with it ever. My initial response was just like, oh gosh, I could never do that. And then like a few weeks later, I thought, what could it hurt to just look at some videos on YouTube about it? Like she said, no one else had actually mentioned that. She included that detail, and that was really helpful. So I did go on YouTube. I did look up a ton of videos, and I kind of picked, and I was like, I like this and I like that. And at first I was kind of thinking like, but if I cut it myself, I will like forever have the same haircut. But that's not true. It depends where you split your layers, how many layers, like there's so many variations you can actually do. Right now I'm very happy with the way it is. I do want to trim up my shortest layer here in a few days, probably right before my next wash day. I will do that. Just in case someone is interested, I cut the bottom, the very bottom length of it. I cut it wet using a crea-clip. And then I have 2 layers. I like my shortest layer. It is, let's see, where is it? It is here. So I actually prefer it like right above my chin. So yeah, I do need to do a little trim on that layer. And then I have one more layer that sits in between the shortest layer and the length. It's a really small amount of hair. It just kind of like closes the gap there. So that's what I do. And so for these 2 layers, I do a unicorn cut with those, and I like to do them dry. I can find the layers and separate them better when my hair is dry, but for the length of my hair, I can't pull it really straight and even in the crea-clip when it's dry. So for that, I like to do it wet. But overall, I'm quite happy with it, and I like my wavy hair. I plan to keep leaving it wavy and letting it do whatever it wants to do. In my opinion, I know there will be people who are like, your hair is not curly, it's wavy. Honestly, my opinion is hair is either straight or curly, and it just depends how tight or loose your curl pattern is. And part of the beauty of curly hair is that nobody has the same curl pattern. It's unique to you. It's what God created you and gave you. And I think it's so beautiful to just explore that and see what your hair wants to do. And I get so many people telling me like, I want my hair to look like that. And I'm like, this is what I was born with. Like, you need to do the best of what you have. Even if your hair is straight, that's beautiful too. And you need to just rock your hair, let your hair see what it wants to do on its own and let it do it. But this was not an easy journey by any means, learning how to work with it, trying to find people who could cut it, learning how to cut it myself, learning what products to use or not use. I'm pretty minimal. I don't like using a ton of stuff. I see some people doing their curly hair videos and they apply like 10 different products. That will never be me. For years, I just used a gel. I have more recently added in a leave-in conditioner. I have 2 different ones I'm kind of flipping between. I kind of like them both. I'll probably do a video on that at some point if there's interest, but that's just kind of my bare minimum, the leave-in conditioner and the gel. I have shampoo, conditioner, of course, and then, so I guess 4 total hair products. So I hope this is helpful to someone. If you're trying to embrace your hair, I hope this inspired you. And if you are embracing your hair, I'd love to hear your journey as well. And if you have any questions, please leave them below. If there's enough questions or interest, I can continue doing curly hair content too. So have a great day, guys. God bless you.